recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZED Games AU.
Hey. You're listening to Zed Games here on 4ZZZ. I think that was too many Zeds.
That's our sister station. Quad 6Z. Yeah.
Octo-Z.
I'm Maylee.
Hi.
And I'm in the studio here with
Caroline.
And Cam.
Wee.
What have you all been up to?
Oh, 6 foot.
What?
Classic Joe. Never gets old. Playing video games. How about you guys?
Video games.
Video games, not the joking on my show. I don't. No.
I've been playing Cookie Clicker.
Oh,
So
love
that's
it.
a classic. Brings me back.
Yep. And the original Divinity... I speak good. The original Divinity Sin by Larian Studios, who coincidentally did Baldur's Gate 3, which I can't afford, so I'm playing the one game of theirs that I do have in my library.
Still holds up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I never finished it, so it's good that I'm finally getting around to it.
This is why we have a backlog.
Oh my goodness. My backlog is very back and very logged.
That sounds unpleasant.
Yeah.
Let's see a doctor about
I'm
that.
sure there's a suppository for that.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know how to segue from that one.
There's
But,
Neither
no
do I.
coming back from that.
well, see, a lot of people have been commenting that whenever I'm on this show, all I do is talk about old games. So I bought something new this week that came out on the Switch. New release, came out on the Switch, came out on all the
Take
other
that,
consoles.
haters.
That's right. Came out on all the other consoles last week, but on Tuesday, the Switch version. It's The Making of Karateka, which is it's an interactive video game documentary about a 40-year-old game called Karateka. And it's amazing! And it's
Haters,
really
you
good.
win. You were right all along.
But it's a new game?
Yeah, so what they've done is they've taken the original discs that Jordan Mechner, who later on created Prince of Persia and a whole heap of other really innovative stuff. And this is his first major breakthrough game, 1983's Karateka, which pioneered rotoscoping and animation and film techniques in games and stuff like that. And they said, hey, you could play the originals and the Commodore 64 version, which is great. Or we've redone it in this new deluxe version, and here's all of his old discs and design documents, and you can interact with it. It's amazing. I loved it. It's only
That
30
does
bucks.
sound really
It's
cool.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've been playing.
Nice.
Hell yeah. I've just been playing Baldur's Gate 3.
So jealous.
Yeah.
I take it it's good then.
Yes. It's very delightful. I finished my first playthrough. And I've got some music from Baldur's Gate 3 later on in the show.
Topical.
The best track from that game I couldn't play because it's kind of spoilery-ish, and I didn't want to be that guy.
Is that the one
Yeah.
where it turns out you're a robot? Oh, sorry.
I can't believe you spoiled it for everyone listening. And me.
But
Wow.
if you've played the game and listened to this song, you'll know what I mean when it's the best song, because it's good. And in a few more weeks' time, I won't feel so bad and I'll play it. Just every song. Like, you get 10 songs in an hour of Zed Games, it'll be that song 10 times.
I
That
love
will
it.
not fill quota.
Oh, but who cares? It'll be funny. Do it for the bit.
Maybe. We'll see. See when I'm in next. But I think maybe we listen to some news.
Oh, love you.
See what's going on in the world.
Ooh, the
Broaden
world?
our horizons. This was prepared earlier by the lovely Zara.
Our benevolent overlord.
Yes.
Some fresh news.
This week in gaming news, Call of Duty uses AI to find toxicity. Call of Duty is no stranger to less than pleasant behavior from players, like many massively popular games with an online component. What is Activision doing now to combat it? Activision is now teaming up with Modulate, an AI program developed specifically to filter through voice chat in order to flag and deal with problematic behavior. It's still in its early stages, with ToxMod, the tool being used, entering beta testing on North American servers. The tool is already used in a number of online games, but Call of Duty would certainly be a large task. The program isn't capable of banning players, but instead will monitor voice chat in real time, flag problematic behavior depending on context, and then provide this information to moderators to take action. In theory, you can still cuss out your friends when they're taking their sweet time getting to you, so players shouldn't be worried about being boisterous. Goodbye, Volition. The game developer company, Deep Silver Volition, developer of titles like Saints Row and Red Faction, has closed its doors after 30 years of development. It hasn't been a smooth journey for the company, with Volition's Saints Row's reboot facing negative criticism upon reveal. After a transfer from Embracer and a multi-billion-dollar deal collapsing, Volition has been shut down while Embracer goes through some pretty significant restructuring. IPs including Saints Row and Red Faction will be transferred to another subsidiary, PlayOn. For 30 years now, you have played our games. Sometimes you've loved them, sometimes you've been disappointed with them, but you've always been there. We can't thank you enough for sticking with us throughout this time, Volition says in a letter to its community. Stray movie! Did you like that cat game that came out last year? The one where you're a little kitty cat in a futuristic city populated by robots? Well, it'll be hitting the big screen. Annapurna Animation, who developed the film Nimona, will be developing an animated film based off the game. It's a buddy comedy about a cat and a robot, and there's such a hilarious dynamic. So, there's comedy inherent in this. But there's not one human being in this movie. I think it's one of the reasons why the game was incredibly popular, says Robert Bard, Annapurna Animation boss. Annual Diablo expansions. Blizzard will be releasing multiple expansions for Diablo 4 on an annual basis, with each year being broken up into quarterly seasons with long-term storylines promised. This roadmap isn't unusual for developers to space out new content on a regular basis. The 11-year-long gap between Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 has also been cited as a reason, and it's hoped that this approach will help rectify that. Season 2, Season of Blood, has been announced as part of Gamescom opening night. Arcane Season 2. Season 2 of Arcane, the Netflix animated series based off of Riot Games' League of Legends, will be premiering in winter 2024, or summer for us Aussies. Woohoo! And now for some upcoming games. September 7th brings The Dragoness, Command of the Flame for the Switch, and TOS for the PC VR, Quest and PSVR 2. September 8th brings Fae Farm for the PC and Switch, NBA 2K24 for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One and Switch. September 12th brings Eternights for the PC, PS5 and PS4, The Isle Tide Hotel for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One and Switch. September 13th brings Heretics Fork for the PC, Super Bomberman R2 for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One and Switch. And September 14th brings Ad Infinitum for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, AK Axolotl for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One and Switch, The Crew Motorfest for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Heavy Duty Challenge for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Sugar Shack for the PC. That's it this week in gaming news.
Welcome back.
I'm cranky.
What are you You're cranky about the cat movie.
Oh, yeah, listen. It's Milo and Otis, but instead of a dog, it's a robot. No, I'm cranky about Volition, okay? It really, really makes me mad. Like, these guys did nothing wrong. And it frustrates the heck out of me. Because Embracer Group, which... you know, embracing arms of death group, just buying up everything, trying to extend themselves out like mad, and then these devs get completely stuffed up because of it. Some of these people moved, you know, interstate to go take up these new positions, and Embracer Group keep buying and buying and buying and leveraging themselves on loans, and then they tried to get this $2 billion from the Saudis, the same people who were behind beheading journalists. Not really cool. Same people who bought SNK. So, by the way, folks, if you want to pirate SNK games, go for it. The opinions of Cameron do not represent Full Triple Z. Yeah, but like they tried to make this big payout. All they care about is the money, and they've got this private collection where we're going to buy every single game ever made, and all these teams. And screw them. I am so mad that poor devs get just screwed over because of this. Makes me mad.
Yeah.
It's a tale as old as
it
well,
really
like,
is.
As video
a few
games
decades,
itself.
but
Yeah.
as a video game time.
Yeah.
Stay indie, folks.
Yeah.
And then not all indie studios get away from the
No.
worst of it.
There are good buyouts, right? There are ones that make sense, but these guys aren't in the right space, I guess. They're not a gaming company.
Grace.
Any other thoughts on less depressing news stories?
I think annual Diablo content's an ambitious and optimistic statement.
From Blizzard, from our old pals at Blizzard.
Yeah, I just don't care about Diablo, honestly.
No, it's swords and orcs and stuff.
No.
There's swords and orcs in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
that's
need
the game
Blizzard.
I want to play. I don't want to play online games.
But when
I'm
Microsoft
so tired.
own Activision soon, I'm sure they can, change things around. Get that annual franchise happening.
Activision didn't fix it when it took over Blizzard.
Yeah.
I don't think Microsoft's going to fix it when it takes over Activision.
Fair enough.
I'm too tired for DLC every year or whatever it is, and it's just.
You know what was nice news I heard today? Speaking of DLC,
Yeah.
the guys behind Tears of the Kingdom said, "No, we're not doing DLC. We've done everything we wanted to do with that." I was like,
Hell yeah.
"Lovely,
Yeah.
I'm actually happy
Refreshing.
with that."
Wow, and a whole game released at launch.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Revolutionary.
It's got swords and orcs in it too. There you go.
Yeah.
Orcs.
Well, I don't know. Goblins.
Orc-
Orc adjacent.
Yeah, orc
Beings.
adjacent.
I just also want to clarify, because it seems obvious now that I think about it, but when it was read out that Arcane Season 2 is coming out in Australian summer next year, I was like, well, is that December or January or February? No, it's obviously not only a few months away. It would be December next year.
So a year and a half.
So
Assuming the strikes don't
yeah, that's
impact it.
true.
And
Yeah.
assuming Netflix doesn't decide to just cancel it anyway.
They can't cancel Riot. Riot's more powerful than them. Riot can do whatever they want.
I'm waiting for Riot to buy Netflix at this point. There's a buyout I support.
Yeah.
Let's get more than a few seasons of stuff. Please, and thank you.
No.
No? No?
No.
Well, let's get some good stuff, actually.
Well, we're gonna have Kitty Cat movie.
Yeah.
Could be good.
I'd watch a Kitty Cat movie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It'll be more fun than the game.
I didn't play the
That's-
game.
Yeah,
so,
no one did. It's fine.
So you're listening to Zed Games, is that it?
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Hello, you're listening to Zed Games.
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 Perfect. Thank you. This is Zed Games from 4ZZZ.
Yay. Best radio station? Best
Yeah.
radio station.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my mummy said so, that's why.
Oh.
No, my mum has said nothing of the sort, sorry.
Well, she should.
I know.
Anyway, maybe we can wow her with your review that you've prepared.
Maybe, yeah. Alright, I'm reviewing Dave the Diver.
I've heard good things.
Yes. Well, Dave the Diver is an aquatic adventure game developed and published by Mint Rocket that was released on the 28th of June 2023 on Steam. You play Dave, a diver, hence the name of the game, and the premise is you catch fish during the day in the blue hole, and at night you manage a sushi restaurant using what you've caught as ingredients. The money you make running the restaurant can then be spent upgrading Dave's diving equipment, or for hiring and training staff, which then allows you to dive deeper and for longer and to catch more fish and sell more efficiently at the restaurant. And so the game loop goes. The diving portion of the game plays out in a pretty straightforward way, twice a day, a morning and an afternoon run, and the option to do a nighttime dive at the cost of 1/3 of your time at the restaurant. You have a certain amount of air, which also doubles as your health. You get attacked by a nasty fishy and it goes down. and run out of air and you've ended your run prematurely. And to add insult to injury, you can only rescue one item from your inventory. So honestly, at that point, I just alt-tab and closed the game. It wasn't worth continuing on unless I had done some major story progression. Your air can be refilled by O2 tanks found randomly throughout the map and can be upgraded along with an assortment of other things needed for progression and just to make your life a whole lot easier and less filled with death. Each run is random to a point, the landscape changes each run, but different fish spawn at certain depths, and crates containing random weapons and condiments will be scattered throughout the landscape. Seascape? Whatever. Condiments. You use them sauce. In the... Oh, I don't think tomato sauce is one. It's like salt, mayo, miso paste for use at the restaurant to make fancier dishes. Yeah, it's weird.
Cool.
The weapons are only for that particular run. It's explained in game that they disappear after leaving the water. There's a story amongst all this. Mysterious going on in the Blue Hole where the sushi restaurant is, and you are just the man to stumble his way into the story. And here is where my first criticism of the game emerges. I never felt like I had much agency or choice when it came to the story. It was all just sort of happening to me. Kind of felt like I was just a side character. It went like this. Character, do this thing. Dave, but I don't want to do this thing. It's dangerous. Character, but you should do the thing anyway. Also, you are gross and creepy, and I don't like you. Dave, oh, okay. I'll guess I'll do the thing.
Oh, poor Dave. Dave needs some self-confidence.
Yeah, most of the characters are like this. They don't really like you, and the only way to make them like you is to do stuff for them, mostly fetch quests.
But that's not a way to make people like you. The way to make people like you is to be a good person and take genuine interest in other people.
That's how you make people think you're useful. But that's not good. That's not fulfilling.
Yeah, and there was a lot of sort of just implied fat jokes, and it was like, ugh.
That's funny.
Yeah, haha, fat joke. Another criticism that I have is the game tries to do too much. There's the diving, running the restaurant, a farm, a fish hatchery, cooking competitions, fish Pokemon adjacent card collecting, knockoff fish Tamagotchi, seahorse racing, and what seems like 1,000 different mini-games. I just wanted to get back to the core gameplay loop, and every different thing that showed up outside of that was just getting in the way. Like the minigame that I had to go through to cut my way into a shipwreck, the same minigame that was repurposed for gluing a statue back together. What's the point? What does this add to the game except extra padding? Just let me catch my little fishies. Now that I have pooped upon the game from a great height, here's some things that I actually liked about the game. Because, and this may surprise you, I actually really like this game. The music! There's unique scores for each location and story events. It's gorgeously atmospheric and adds so much to the game. Catching fish! Depending on how you catch the fish, you get a different grade of meat, which gets you more meats. The higher the grade as well as the corresponding grade of fish card. Exploring! There's a bunch of different biomes, each with their own fishes that live there. Collecting! All the fishes! All the cards, all the recipes, all the things. There's a bunch to do even when you finish the main story. To 100% the game if that's your jam, and if you know me, that is absolutely my jam. As you progress through the story, a bunch of stuff unlocks regularly, so there's always something new if that tickles your pickle. Or maybe floats your boat is more an apt phrase. If an aquatic restaurant simulation game with everything under the sun is your jam, I'd say give Dave the Diver a shot. Its main draws of the diving and the restaurant are pretty solid bits of gameplay, and while the story is mid, and it has, in my opinion, too much fluff, but all in all, I recommend it, despite all the shark murder it has. I mean, seriously, you can't kill a dolphin, but half a dozen different sharks to murder? Beep dolphins.
Yeah,
Dolphins are overrated.
We are anti-dolphin.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my review.
Wow. I'm interested in games that like try to do too much. You know, I think there's a certain simplicity to like, hey, don't do everything.
Yes, it's from.
Yeah, it's interesting that like, I think we're too scared to like. I'm sure people come along halfway through development and go, oh, you know what this needs?
Yeah.
Dum 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 dum.
Yeah, it reminds me of being back at studying games design, where everybody was just like, oh, what if we added this and this and this and this? And it's like, you need to edit yourselves.
Yes.
Do a few things really good and maybe chop off the fat a bit.
You might say there's too many cooks in the sushi.
I just want everyone at home to realize just how happy Maylee is with herself right now.
I'm very happy.
It's a good pun. But yeah, it was just a fun game, but stuff would come along and just be like, I don't want to have to do this, but I have to do this.
It's an interesting concept, though. I like sushi. What's your favourite sushi dish?
Ooh, anything with salmon in it.
Yeah, I was going to say salmon aburi.
Sushi is like my favourite food. I am allergic to fish.
No!
Awkward.
Yeah, it's a hard life I live.
Woof. I just want to be a grizzly bear. And sushi, raw salmon. There we go.
There you go.
Let's put the words in the right order.
Very
well,
good.
I feel informed and enthused and excited. I feel like if you're listening out there and your name is Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Be a diver. And stick up for yourself.
Yeah.
Frankly. We believe in you.
We believe in you. And even if your name isn't Dave, we believe in you.
Yes.
Unless your name's Gerald.
Yeah.
Gerald.
Screw you, Gerald. All right. I'm going to talk to you about a game. A game that is currently being played on the table in front of me. I also want to dedicate this review to my mum.
Aww.
I don't know if she's listening, but she told me recently that she'd been playing Candy Crush.
Yep.
And that Candy Crush has gotten boring, so she wanted more games to play to like chill out.
Oh, I love it when people do that.
Oh,
By the way, she is listening and she says she's very proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Mum. Well, for you, then, Mum, I offer an easy-to-learn, difficult-to-master puzzle game for Android, iOS, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
PlayStation 4? Wow.
Yeah, it surprised
that?
me too. This
What's it
game
called?
is Mini Metro. And Mini Metro is the answer to the question, what if the incredibly complex task of plotting out a city's train network was boiled down to its essence and delivered as a super relaxing game? It has very simple mechanics, matched by a very simple interface that makes it a perfect de-stressor or time filler. The difficulty scales well. It starts off easy enough to get the hang of things, and without adding any more mechanics, it keeps a steady rate of challenge throughout your playtime until it becomes really hard, and I haven't gotten past that point. There are three primary components of the Mini Metro game. Train stations, train lines, and passengers. That's all you got to keep track of. Your job is to weave the train lines between a growing number of stations so that passengers can get where they want to go, but if you take too long, your stations become overcrowded and it's game over.
Right.
If it sounds simple, that's because it is. The real bite of Mini Metro comes from the slow creep of difficulty. Link 4 stations, that's easy. Manage 3 train lines, no problem. But soon enough, you'll have 8 train lines and 50 station and hundreds of angry, impatient commuters blinking their little icons at you, judging you.
Why are the squares judging me?
Because they want to go to the squares.
They want to go home.
You're not doing good enough for them.
I'm really not. I'm letting them down right now.
Hey, you're still going. So there are 2 speed modes for this game, very useful. If you're like me, you can speed it up when you get impatient, which is always, and slow it down when you're inevitably overwhelmed, which is often. There's also the pause function. Oh my goodness. Function. The word I said and meant to say was function.
Very good.
There's also a pause function, which is useful if you're playing out and about. And I have spent a lot of time playing this game out and about, you know, in a waiting room, on a bus.
On a train?
On a train. Well, I don't ride the train that often. I'm a bus girl now.
Get on the train. Play this for a while.
The triangles
Is it better?
are angry with me now.
Well, they want to go to the triangle.
Yeah.
We should do this more.
The triangles
live.
go to the triangle. Okay,
Yes, the
I
triangle.
get that now.
So on your map,
Mm-hmm.
there will be different icons. You've got the basic icons, which are triangles, circles, and squares.
Right.
And these are your stations, and next to the stations are the same symbols but smaller, and those are your passengers. And the symbol of the passenger means you have to link it to the symbol it wants to go to.
So a little circle.
Wants
and
to
then,
go to a circle.
Okay.
That, yeah, that
Draw
I
a line
understand now.
from the triangle station to the circle station.
There are
Seems
also unique ones. You know, you'll only get one star station on a map and one cross station. Some weird shapes out there.
Right. Weird stations. Anyone that's been to the valley can tell you.
Yeah. The valley would be... What shape would the valley be?
Octagonal.
Because it's stop.
An inverted star.
Oh.
Righto.
I think you're both right. Something I really enjoyed about this game was that the maps that you play on are based on real cities, and the challenges you face are specific to each city. Now, in front of me, I've got them playing on the first level, which is London. So I don't think there's any specific challenges to that, but we've got Osaka, and you have to manage bullet trains.
Ooh.
And you can play in Melbourne and manage the tram lines.
Right.
Or if you play in Stockholm, there's lots of little islands everywhere, and you have to manage your tunnels really well. And it's really nice to see how, I don't know, all the different, I guess it's basically white and basic colors.
It looks
it's
like
very
a train
minimalistic.
Map.
It looks
Yeah,
like a
it's
train map.
An interactive train map.
But I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm in Stockholm.
It's got that nice, like, if I was in charge, I would do this so much better kind of look,
Yes.
you know.
Basing it on the one I'm most familiar with, which is the Brisbane train map, when I first picked up Mini Metro, I was like, well, I'll set it out like that because that's how trains are meant to be set out. It doesn't work very well in a lot of the maps.
As anyone who lives out in Logan will tell you.
So I think
3 hours to get into Brisbane.
we can prove, based on Mini Metro, that the Brisbane rail system is terrible and needs to be updated.
Yep.
I like lots of circles. Little circles is a good strategy for Mini Metro. So let's do that in Brisbane.
I was going to say all the trains need little, like, food carts in them, but, you know, that's a totally different conversation.
I mean, I support it.
Yeah.
Let's go. I've only played Mini Metro on Android, both on tablet and phone, so I can't speak to its performance on other platforms, but I can say I really recommend it being played with mobile gaming. Not only is it great to take with you to fill those little bits of time in the day, but it just fits. Being able to drag the train lines around on the touchscreen feels really natural, and the little plonk sound when you set it into place is super satisfying. Its minimalistic interface doesn't demand a lot from your phone, so it won't be chugging and whirring like some mobile games cause. So if you're rocking an old or a cheap phone, there's a good chance that you'll still be able to fully enjoy Mini Metro. If you are someone who is a commuter and wants to keep busy on your phone, I recommend it. If you're someone who's stressed out and just wants something relaxing to do, I like to play it when I'm editing things, like when I'm editing news together, just listen through, watch YouTube, listen through. It's play while I'm listening. It's very relaxing. If you are an aspiring, would it be an engineer that does this?
I think they're a traffic engineer.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're an aspiring traffic engineer
City
specializing in train networks, then put this on your resume.
The important question I have is, have you introduced this game to your mum?
No. Well, I recommended it to her.
Right.
So I have, but I haven't been with her in person since that to force her.
Yep.
So I don't know if she's actually looked at it.
Okay.
My dad would love this. I've got it.
Everyone's parents will love it.
Yes.
It's a good game. And it's very simple that even if you're not super tech savvy, you can pick it up.
Yeah.
You can get it.
Yeah, next time I see my parents, I'm going to tell my dad about this.
It is a paid game, so it's not free to play on mobile.
Mm-hmm. How much is it?
It's I don't want to give you the wrong number, so I'm going to look that up quickly. But there's no ads. There's nothing like that. It's really well done, so it's definitely worth the price. Which I'm looking up now. Do you have any other mini metro questions while I find the answer?
Is there a mode where there's no rules and you can just kind of chill with no game over mode?
There are 4 different modes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the normal mode,
Yep.
which is what I play most of the time. There's hardcore mode where everything's more stressful.
And all the trains have guns.
Yes. There's relaxed
bigger
mode
health.
where nothing ever overcrowds, so you just do it to be as efficient as possible. And then there's creative mode, where you can do something you can't do in the rest of the game, which is move the train stations around, so you can make the flawless map that you want to make.
I crave that.
Yeah.
I crave that.
Well, it's available. So I found out it is $1.69.
Okay, nice. That's a really good price for. This could keep me occupied for many, many days.
Oh, and it's free on iOS.
Well, poo to you, iOS.
Us hoity-toity IO.
It is very varying prices on other consoles, though. So don't, if you're going to play it on PlayStation or Switch, it'll probably be a bit more than that.
I can see this being a nice Switch experience.
Yeah.
The screen there. Yeah, very cool. Get fingerprints all over that nice OLED screen. Oh.
PlayStation and PC, I don't know. I
PC
really
could
like
work.
being able to
PC,
drag
the
them with my
clicky
finger.
with the mouse would work, but
Yeah.
PlayStation, no, you can't.
If you decide to try it on your PlayStation, let me know how it goes.
Yeah, message in. Oh, beans. Is there an undo button?
Have you started again? There's no undo.
I've started many times. I keep on biffing it. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're going to do for the
Why
rest
is there
of the
not an
night.
undo? This is.
I say we can help you out. We're Zed Games.
Zed Games playing
Love
the
it.
game.
I'm Maylee.
I'm Cam.
I'm Caroline. I have trains on my phone.
You do have trains.
I bought the game.
This is the quickest I've ever swayed someone. I love it.
Oh, so good. The power of being a game reviewer. Isn't it good?
It is getting towards the end of the hour, and we have to go home and play trains.
Yeah.
And Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh.
Hey, you've got trains.
And 40-year-old games that have been repackaged and resold to me.
Hell yeah.
Hey, that's the game industry in a nutshell.
Love it.
Thank you for joining us tonight, listeners. I hope you've been informed and entertained. And we will love you and leave you and see you next week.
Bye, love you.
Listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.